If your heart feels heavy tonight, if you're tired of watching others succeed while you struggle, if injustice, delay, and silence from God have made you question everything, this Psalm 37 is for you. Not by accident, not randomly. You didn't find this prayer. This prayer found you. We live in a world that rewards impatience. Scroll faster, achieve faster, win faster. And yet, some of the most faithful people live waiting for justice, waiting for answers, waiting for peace. You do everything right and still feel left behind. You trust God, but the wicked seem to prosper. You pray, but nothing changes. And slowly anxiety whispers, maybe God forgot you. But Psalm 37 was written for moments exactly like this. Before we read a single verse, pause, take a slow breath, not to relax, but to arrive. Because the message of Psalm 37 cannot be rushed. This psalm is not about speed. It's about trust. Do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away. Let that sink in. Do not fret, not because evil isn't real, but because evil is temporary. Anxiety grows when comparison grows. You look at others, their money, their influence, their ease, and inside, a quiet frustration builds. But Psalm 37 speaks directly to this modern sickness, the anxiety of comparison. God is reminding you, what grows fast often fades fast. What God builds slowly endures. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Trust, not rush. Do good, not revenge. Dwell, not flee. Trust in God doesn't mean pretending life is fair. It means believing God is faithful, even when life isn't. You don't need to manipulate outcomes. You don't need to force doors. You don't need to compete with darkness. Psalm 37 teaches you something radical. Peace comes from alignment, not control. Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Notice this carefully. It doesn't say, chase your desires, then bring God along. It says, delight in the Lord, and your desires will be reshaped. Many people pray for blessings without realizing God is more interested in who you become than what you receive. When your delight shifts, your anxiety loosens its grip, and suddenly, waiting no longer feels like punishment. It feels like preparation. If this psalm is speaking to your heart, stay with me, because what comes next in Psalm 37 may completely change how you see waiting justice and God's timing. And before we continue, type one word in the comments, trust. But as a quiet declaration between, you're still here. That matters, because waiting is where most people quit. And Psalm 37 was written for those who feel tempted to give up, but choose to stay. One of the hardest parts of life is not pain itself. It's watching injustice go unanswered. You stay honest. Others cheat and win. You stay faithful. Others betray and prosper. And inside, something dangerous grows. The urge to react, to defend yourself, to prove your worth, to take control back. But Psalm 37 does something unexpected. It doesn't encourage reaction. It teaches restraint. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in Him, and He will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. Pause. This verse is not passive. It's powerful surrender. To commit your way means to place your future where your hands can no longer reach. This is terrifying for the anxious mind, because anxiety believes, if I don't control it, it will fall apart. But Psalm 37 whispers a deeper truth. What you release to God is safer than what you grip in fear. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Be still, not because nothing is happening, but because God is working outside your sight. Stillness is uncomfortable because it feels unproductive, but stillness is not an activity. It is trust without noise. In a world addicted to reaction, stillness becomes an act of faith. When you don't respond to provocation, when you don't explain yourself to everyone, when you don't rush your process, you are saying, God, I trust you to defend me. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret, it leads only to evil. This verse is deeply practical. Uncontrolled anger doesn't heal injustice. It multiplies it. Anger feels like strength, but it drains peace. Psalm 37 is not telling you to deny your pain. It's teaching you where to place it. Anger placed in God's hands becomes clarity. Anger held in your own becomes poison. For those who are evil will be destroyed, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. A little while, and the wicked will be no more. Though you look for them, they will not be found. But the meek will inherit the land and enjoy peace and prosperity. Notice the phrase, a little while. A little while is God's timing language, not immediate, not delayed, but precise. Waiting doesn't mean God is slow. It means God is accurate. Psalm 37 redefines prosperity. Prosperity is not just having more. It's needing less peace from the world, because you already have it in God. The meek inherit the land, because they are not consumed by fear, rage, or comparison. This is a turning point of Psalm 37. You don't win by reacting. You don't heal by rushing. You don't grow by fighting every battle. You win by trusting. When everything in you wants to control, if you feel tired of defending yourself, if you're exhausted from trying to prove your worth, stay with me, because the next part of Psalm 37 reveals how God protects those who wait, and what happens when fear finally loosens its grip. Before we continue, write this quietly in the comments. I will wait, not as weakness, but as faith. You're still waiting. And that tells me something about you. You're not just searching for relief. You're searching for truth. And Psalm 37 now moves into one of its most reassuring promises. God does not abandon those who trust him, especially when fear tries to take over. Fear doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers at night. Sometimes it shows up as overthinking. Sometimes it disguises itself as being realistic. Fear says, what if it doesn't work out? What if I waited for nothing? What if God doesn't come through? Psalm 37 speaks directly to this hidden fear. The wicked plot against the righteous and gnash their teeth at them, but the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he knows their day is coming. Pause here. This is not mockery. It's perspective. God sees outcomes you cannot see yet. What looks threatening to you looks temporary to him. Fear grows when perspective shrinks. Faith grows when perspective expands. Psalm 37 reminds you, nothing is unfolding without God's awareness. The wicked draw the sword and bend the bow to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose ways are upright, but their swords will pierce their own hearts, and their bows will be broken. This is not revenge language. It's justice language. You are not required to avenge yourself. You are not appointed as judge. God's justice is not delayed. It is strategic. Psalm 37 is teaching you something freeing. You don't have to win every argument to be right. God handles what you release. Better the little that the righteous have than the wealth of many wicked. For the power of the wicked will be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. Notice the word, upholds. To uphold means to support, when something would otherwise collapse. Even when your resources feel small, even when your strength feels limited, God is actively holding you. You are not surviving alone. You are being sustained. The blameless spend their days under the Lord's care, and their inheritance will endure forever. In times of disaster, they will not wither. In days of famine, they will enjoy plenty. This verse isn't denial of hardship. It's assurance within hardship. Psalm 37 never promises a life without trouble. It promises a life covered in trouble. God's care doesn't disappear in famine. It becomes more visible. When everything feels unstable, His presence becomes your stability. The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in Him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with His hand. Read that again. You may stumble, but you will not fall. Many people fear failure more than evil. They fear disappointing God. They fear making the wrong decision. Psalm 37 removes this weight. God doesn't abandon you when you stumble. He steadies you. Your journey is not fragile. It is guided. This is the heart of Psalm 37. You are not protected because you are perfect. You are protected because you are His. Fear loses power when you realize you are not walking alone. If fear has been controlling your thoughts, if uncertainty has been stealing your peace, stay with me, because the final part of Psalm 37 reveals how God leads, preserves, and rewards those who choose trust over fear, even to the very end. Before we continue, type this in the comments softly. God is holding me. Let it settle. You've come this far. And that means something inside you is choosing faith, even when answers feel incomplete. This final part of Psalm 37 is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is steady. And sometimes that's exactly what the soul needs. One of the deepest fears we carry is not today's pain. It's tomorrow's uncertainty. We ask quietly, will I be okay? Will God still be with me later? What happens if things don't change? Psalm 37 answers these questions, not with guarantees of ease, but with promises of presence. Turn from evil and do good, then you will dwell in the land forever. For the Lord loves the just, and will not forsake His faithful ones. Wrongdoers will be completely destroyed. The offspring of the wicked will perish. The righteous will inherit the land, and dwell in it forever. Notice what God emphasizes. He will not forsake His faithful ones. Many people fear abandonment by others, by life, by God Himself. But Psalm 37 speaks clearly. God does not walk away from those who trust Him. Even when others leave, even when seasons change, His presence remains. The mouths of the righteous utter wisdom, and their tongues speak what is just. The law of their God is in their hearts. Their feet do not slip. This is the fruit of waiting. Waiting with God does something powerful inside you. It reshapes how you speak, how you respond, how you choose. You become steadier, not because life calms down, but because your heart does. The wicked lie in wait for the righteous, intent on putting them to death. But the Lord will not leave them in their power, or let them be condemned when brought to trial. This is protection without panic. You don't need to live looking over your shoulder. God sees threats before they reach you. He intercepts what you don't even notice. Psalm 37 teaches a quiet confidence. You are watched over. Hope in the Lord and keep His way. He will exalt you to inherit the land. When the wicked are destroyed, you will see it. Hope here doesn't mean optimism. It means anchoring. Hope anchors you when emotions drift. You don't stay faithful because it's easy. You stay faithful because it's safe. God lifts those who refuse to abandon Him, even when nothing makes sense yet. Consider the blameless. Observe the upright. A future awaits those who seek peace. But all sinners will be destroyed. There will be no future for wicked. A future awaits those who seek peace. Your future is not fragile. It is promise. Peace is not a personality trait. It is a path. And Psalm 37 shows you how to walk it. The final words of Psalm 37 leave no doubt. The salvation of the righteous comes from the Lord. He is their stronghold in time of trouble. The Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in Him. Read that slowly. Because they take refuge in Him. If this psalm brought peace to your heart tonight, leave this word in the comments. Refuge, not for others to see, but as a reminder to yourself. And whenever life feels unfair again, return to Psalm 37, because trust is not learned once. It is practiced again and again